Hey everybody, welcome to the Inspired Word Podcast. My name's Caleb McNeil. It's good to have y'all back. I just want to thank y'all for everything that y'all have been doing for me, and thank y'all for all the feedback. Thank y'all for showing love to John, for showing his amazing testimony, and it really touched me, and it touched a lot of people. That video got over 100 views, so I know it touched a lot of people. So I'm very proud of John, and I'm just proud of everything he's done. And I just thank y'all for showing some love and keep tuning in every week. So today we're going to be talking about the last days of Jesus when he was on the earth and what he went through for us. And it just shows his love and compassion that he had for us. And just to see what he went through and what he had to think about. And he did that all for us, and he showed his love for us. So today we're going to be out of Luke chapter 22 and chapter 23 and Matthew 27. So I'll go ahead and start it off in Luke chapter 22, verse 39 through 45. So this is when Jesus knew he was going to get crucified the next day. So he already had the Lord's Supper. He already had that Last Supper, and he knew that he was about to go get crucified. And he went to the Garden of Gethsemane to go pray. And he knew that his time was coming. And he prayed to the Lord to have strength. So I'm going to go ahead and read in chapter 22, verse 39 through 45. And he came out and went as he was wont to the Mount of Olives, and his disciples also followed him. And when he was at the place, he said unto them, Pray that ye enter not into temptation. And he was withdrawn from them about a stone's cast, and kneeled down and prayed, saying, Father, if thou wilt be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done. And there appeared an angel unto him from heaven, strengthening him. And beginning in agony, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was it were great drops of blood falling down to the ground. And when he rose up from prayer, and was come to his disciples, he found them sleeping for sorrow, and said to them, Why sleep ye? Rise up, and pray, lest ye enter temptation. So two things went on. So you got his disciples supposed to be watching out for him, told them to pray, not to enter temptation, go to sleep on them. And not Luke, but Matthew, the same story. They fell asleep on him 3 times. Every time he prayed, he stopped and go back and check on them, and they would fall asleep, wake up. He did that 3 times. So he's supposed to be trusting these people to watch out for him. And he trusted them, and they were just failing him. And that's just like us. Like, we see everything he does for us. We see all the miracles he performs. And we still fall asleep on him. So just try your best. Pray. Do everything you can. And like, we're always going to fail. We're going to fall asleep. Just keep trying your best to do the work for him. And don't fall into temptation. And so another thing I want to point out is where it said, Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done. So Jesus knew what he was about to go through on the cross. He knew the pain that he was about to suffer. And he's basically saying, if there's any other way I can get this done. Because he knew that he had to go on the cross and sacrifice, be the perfect sacrifice for all of our sins. So that way that we can be saved and go to heaven. And that way we could have salvation. So he was wondering if there's any other way. But he said, if it's your will, then that'll be done. So, and he was just so depressed. He said he was so depressed in agony that he was sweating. His sweat was where it was at were great drops of blood falling down to the ground. He was so stressed out that he was bleeding. Can you imagine what that's like? We think that we're stressed out in our everyday life. Can you imagine you're about to get beat, like maimed? You're about to get destroyed. To these people that don't give two craps about you, like they just don't care about you, and they're about to beat you to death. And just great agony that he knows he has to go through all of this. But he loved us so much that he still went through with it. So we're going to go to Matthew 27 and verse 28 through 31. So this is when he goes to the cross. They've already set him up to be crucified. So they had another man that was a murderer. He did everything wrong. He was very sinful. And then you have Jesus that does nothing wrong, and he's perfect. So guess who got crucified? Jesus. And they let the criminal walk away. So that just shows you that we're going to get persecuted. That whatever Jesus went through, we're also going to go through. Because he's perfect. And we should strive to be great every day. And we're always going to get something going to happen. Like, something's going to happen every day. Like, people that see you, like, trying to be better, they're still going to come at you. Like, Jesus is the best who's ever lived. He did miracles. He loved everybody. Everything he did was out of love. And he still had these people mocking him. And all these people put him up to death. So just imagine us trying to be good. So don't fall into the world. Don't let the world bring you down, because Jesus went through it too. And he is your hope. If he went through it, he knows what you're going through. And he can help you through it, because he already knows what you've been through. So just think of this. Verse 28 through 31. And they stripped him, and they put him on a scarlet robe. And when they had platted a crown of thorns, they put it upon his head, and a reed in his right hand, and they bowed the knee before him, saying, and mocked him, saying, Hail, King of the Jews! And they spit upon him, and took the reed, and smote him on the head. And after that they mocked him. They took the robe off of him, and they put his own raiment on him, and led him away to crucify him. Can you imagine? There's not a lot of detail in there, but if you've ever seen the crown of thorns, it's actual thorns, and it's actual crown. They put it on his head, but what they didn't say, like a crown of thorns, when they put that on you, it goes inside your head and like into your brain. Like, just imagine the pain of that, just like going into your head, like crushing your skull. He did that. That was his crown. That was supposed to be his righteous crown. It ain't like a real king's crown. This is like a mockery to him, the King of Jews. So they give him a crown of thorns instead of a royal crown like he's supposed to get. So that's how they treated him. That's how they viewed him. And those people are us. We put him up on the cross. Like, it makes me mad to read this, but like, it's because of us. It's because of us sinning. He had to go through this. Like, we get mad at these people that put him up on the cross, but we led him to do this. Like, if this is the only way that we get to go to heaven and get saved, so he had to go through this. So he had to get spit on. He had to get tortured. He was maimed. Like, there's so much blood. I can only imagine what he went through. And it's just terrible to see what he went through. And this is just another thing that he went through. Listen to this. In verse 34, they gave him vinegar to drink, mingled with gall. And when he had tasted thereof, he would not drink. Vinegar mingled with gall. And if you ever know what that is they would give these people on death row, or to make them not feel the pain. It's like to numb the pain basically. And he was thirsty. But when they gave him that, he tasted a little bit of it and he said, no, I don't want that. Because he didn't want the pain to go away. He wanted to suffer it. He didn't want to take the easy way out. That's not what he wanted to do. He wanted to go through it fully and do everything that he could for us. Every little thing. If he's going to do it, he's going to do it wholeheartedly. And he did. And he did that for you. He died on the cross for you. He got beat for you. For these people that killed him, he died for them. He did this all for us. So we should be thankful. So this right here shows a lot about his character and who he is as a being. He died for us. He didn't even want the vinegar to numb the pain. Like, it's just powerful. He's loving, he's caring, and he did that for us. So what I want to go back to is Luke chapter 23, but this is in verse 34. It says, then said Jesus, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Do you realize what he just said? Forgive them, for they know not what they do. That's so powerful. They just spit up on him. They spit up on him. They just beat him to death. They put him on the cross. They nailed nails into his hands like that, on both sides, through his palms, and put both of his feet together and nailed it through his feet. They did all of that to him. They tortured him. They mocked him. They did all of that. They really crucified him. And he still said, forgive them, for they know not what they do. He still forgave them and still loved them. If we could love like that, this world would have no problems. We should all strive to have love like Jesus. Even though people spit in your face, even though people come at you on a daily basis. Social media is the biggest place I see this. People are always coming at each other. Even if it's an act of love, there's always somebody coming back and saying some hateful comment. Love like Jesus. Let this be an example to everybody. Let this be an example of how you should live and be like Jesus. Love everybody. Take your time out of your day to say I love you to somebody. Even if they come at you bad, say I love you. Say Jesus loves you. Kill them with kindness, because I promise you it'll change the world. And don't let nobody drag you down. It's not worth it. People come at you because they're not happy. So don't let them make you unhappy. Be like Jesus. Stand your ground. Have your priorities right. Because in the end, you know that if you're doing right, Jesus is happy with you. So don't let somebody else drag you down. Love like Jesus. Love your neighbors. Love everybody the same, like he did. Even though they killed him, he still said, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Because he didn't want them to perish. He still loved them after everything they did to him. And that's just the power of love for him. And he's just the greatest example for us to look at. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Read those 4 chapters, and it just tells you how great of a man he was. He is our perfect example of how we should live our everyday life. So I just thank God that he gave his only son to come down and die for us. But then he rose again on the 3rd day. So he overcame death, hell, and the grave. He overcame it all. And he did that for us. He's a perfect sacrifice, perfect human being. Everything about him is perfect. He came down on the holiest throne and come down to this low earth and lived and went through everything we would ever go through. And he died for us. And then rose again. So that way we could go to heaven with him. And it's just going to be a glorious day when we get to go up there. Get to see all our family members. Just everybody that has been saved and accepted Christ. And it's just going to be a great day. And you're going to be up there for eternity. And it's just hard for our mind to even comprehend, like eternity. Like it's forever, and we get to be there forever instead of burning in hell forever. So I just thank God for everything He does for me and for all of us. And it just shows how amazing He was, and He still is as a person. And He's just great. So I thank y'all for listening to this episode of the podcast. Keep sending me some feedback, like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to try to work with my sister to get some t-shirts or like just send some out to spread the word, I might have like a verse on the back. Y'all just give me some ideas. So thank y'all for listening, and I hope y'all have a blessed day.